Hi, I'm Jamie Lyons, and I'm one of the partners in our general practice group here at Lazega and Johanson. I want to share a bit of information that some people, board members, might not want to know. Here it is. Not all board members have to agree with each other, but all board members have to agree to support the decisions of the group. One more time. You don't have to be unanimous in your decisions, but the person who is in the minority voting against the rest of the board cannot undermine the decision of the majority, at least not under Georgia law. Imagine this. Your association has not increased its assessments in many years. 3 new board members are elected to the group of 5. After reviewing the previous budgets and the expected expenses for next year, the board members realize there needs to be a hike in the annual assessment. After much discussion, much heated board meeting discussion, 4 of the board members vote in favor of a budget that increases the assessments by 10%. Paul, one of the veteran board members, is the only one to vote against the new budget and the higher assessment. So, Paul did not agree with the other board members. That's okay. Paul has every right to vote against the budget. He can also request that the secretary put into the minutes of the board meeting his name, showing that he voted against the new budget. What happens next? Well, obviously, the board members are given notice. The owners are given notice of the new budget and the new assessment. And some of them are going to freak out and get very upset because it increases the assessment by 10%. Some might even call Paul. Paul can tell them that he voted against the assessment, against the budget. But his legal duty of care and duty of loyalty is to support the group. He also, when he discloses how he voted, needs to explain that the rest of the group voted to pass the budget as is without him. And that's okay. So, what can Paul do or say that would not be okay? It would not be okay for Paul to use email addresses for the owners that he only has because he is a board member, to tell them all about the board discussion and the reasons that he thinks the new budget and the higher assessment are not good for the association. It would also not be okay for Paul to collect tons of proxies and make a motion at the annual meeting to veto the budget. And it would also not be okay for Paul to see a neighbor in Kroger and make defamatory remarks about the other board members who voted differently from him. Although neighbors in the community association usually want information and juicy details about the board's work behind the scenes, all board members, including Paul, owe a duty of care and a duty of loyalty to the corporation. This means that in our opinion, that board members are bound to put aside their personal feelings about the people and the issues. And even though Paul was in the minority, he cannot undermine the decisions of the majority. To underscore this issue for board members, we often draft a code of conduct. Many associations require that their board members sign this code of ethics once they become elected to serve. Among other things, the code of ethics requires board confidentiality, professionalism, respect, attendance at board meeting, and disclosures of personal conflicts of interest. It also requires that the board members support the decision of a majority. Good board members who intend to comply with their legal obligations should have no problem signing and abiding by a board code of conduct or code of ethics that we can help draft for your community.